Welcome back, everybody, to the Nexon Arena. We're in the midst of Solar versus INnoVation, a best of 7. It's all tied up 1-1, and we are going to be jumping into Abyssal Reef for map number 3.
That's right. It's been a long tournament for these two. INnoVation a little bit shorter, it feels like, because he was able to seed himself into the grand finals. Already feeling the burn, feeling the pain from what Solar did to him in game number 1. A better practice and better executed build coming out from Solar, just kind of countering INnoVation's playstyle, as you said, the lack of Widow Mines. But now, as we go into set 3, INnoVation has the momentum. He did take that last game with a lot of harass damage. Winner of this, obviously, will take that momentum back, but INnoVation, when he has everything going for him, when he can actually time everything correctly, he dominates.
So let's do it, guys. Let's see who's going to take the lead here going into game number 3 between INnoVation and Solar on Abyssal Reef.
2017 시즌1 결승전.
Welcome to Abyssal Reef for game number 3. Up in the top left, the blue Terran, it is INnoVation.
And his opponent, down here in purple, about to make a hatchery, it is, of course, Solar. So, you know, when we talk about map drafts, the SSL is very unique. It always has been, actually, very different from the GSL, where you draft your best of 3, best of 5, or best of 7 maps based upon the order in which you'd like to place the maps. You prioritize them. I want to talk deep on this, but we're seeing a really early drone come across here for Solar, so let's kind of slow down here and see exactly what he's got planned with this one.
Hatchery in the main.
So I suppose just an early drone scout to see if INnoVation's going to take the risk of going CC first on this long rush distance.
Yeah, it's a nice scout, but also Protoss players are doing this pretty much every game against Terrans nowadays. It's easier for the Protoss. They can regen their shields. Of course, the health on this drone will as well, but it's really good for just forcing the Terran's economy to be just that much worse, as well as getting that scout that you mentioned before. He knows exactly what INnoVation is doing to start off this game.
But because this is nothing crazy as we expected, I want to go back to the thought I was making. So in terms of the map draft, the maps that are most wanted by Solar, his highest picked map in terms of map draft is Overgrowth. That's the map he lost now. So we talk about momentum actually shifting into INnoVation's favor. He took the map win on Solar's most picked map, so quite significant. As you know, the other map he, of course, picks a lot is going to be Newkirk Precinct, which will be the map for game number 4. But even still, it's important to keep these things in mind, as INnoVation definitely prepared well there.
Oh.
As JYP is stats.
And Tablet Man there on the left.
Tablet Man,
I recognize his half his face. Yeah, he's there too, hanging out with the buds.
Bros together, man. Protosses. I don't know if Tablet Man's Pross, but he's hanging out with 2 Prosses.
Why is that drone over there? That would be a very weird place to put a 3rd hatchery, but it looks like that's where he wants to go. He's hiding it from the Reaper. Maybe trying to just throw INnoVation off a little bit?
Well, the Reaper will come here into the main base for some harass. This is the grenade, unfortunately, but you know, when the Reaper comes in the main base, not really expected to kill anything. It would just be a bonus, so get some additional information, nothing too crazy. Didn't see the 3rd hatchery, though, as it is going up now. So taking the 6 o'clock expansion as a 3rd base, and INnoVation does not expect this.
Yeah, look at INnoVation's Reaper. He's like, okay, a very late 3rd base, I suppose. And that means that perhaps the Hellions don't even harass at the 3rd base. They go directly for the natural. Maybe Solar can take him out there on that ramp. That's definitely very, what is this? Sexy Caster Kanata.
Sexy Caster Kanata.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
Okay.
They're honest.
Yeah.
Gotta give credit where credit is due, man. Although Daehyun is definitely the more buff of the 2 of them. Kanata is...
different strokes for different folks, Wolf.
Sure. gas steal in the main base is kind of annoying. It actually will scout the cloak research as well.
Yeah,
so
look at that.
Kind of an unusual and possibly an oversight here by INnoVation to have his starport placed so closely to the gas that gives Solar all this information. So again, this is a very much INnoVation-esque thing, right? You're not used to having an extractor stolen in your main base. You don't really think about it that deeply. And something so small like placing your starport just within the threshold of that extractor's vision will give Solar so much extra information. All it would have taken was INnoVation putting it 1 hex slightly to the right and it would have been out of vision. The Overlord is going to come in here and confirm. Actually, we won't see the Banshee coming out, but still. Want to see it finish.
And now INnoVation is going to know because he got a scout in the main. He's like, okay, we know that the base is not in the normal location, and these Hellions getting themselves into a bit of trouble. One will be taken out.
Does get 1 drone, but wanted more. Fortunately, the positioning too good there for Solar, who's adding three Spore Crawlers. Starts his lair, of course, as well, so the Spores will give him the extra vision.
Look at the third base location of INnoVation. He's following that same path. Hold that thought. This Banshee coming in here getting 4 drone kills. The rest of the drones just going to make buildings to survive for now.
Yeah, unfortunately with no Overseer and that Spore Crawler not finished just yet, the Banshee's free to do that extra damage. As now he's actually going to prioritize the Extractor kill over the Overlord. So the Overlord is actually going to escape. Kills that Extractor, wanted that extra gas first, I suppose, rather than damage. Ooh. This is 5 health on this Banshee.
Slipped out of detection range of that Spore. And will survive, still has 16 energy. Good scout there by Solar to see the third base coming up, even though it's in a non-standard location. And
so we'll see what he wants to do in terms of punish play. Okay, we're going to see the rare Solar Spire. We don't really see this out of Solar all too often in this matchup. It's more of a Bjell-oriented thing to do, as who Solar defeated, of course, in the playoffs to make it here. A lot of people thought Bjell was going to be the better player to possibly take out INnoVation, but Solar perhaps practicing with him or at least adapting this style, which INnoVation has found himself weak to oftentimes in terms of dealing with those counterattacks. It's a very knife's edge dance where you have the INnoVation attack coming in, the double medevacs and all that pressure that kind of leads into the parade push, while then also having very few units at home to defend with the Mutas. But at the same time, INnoVation has killed many Mutalist players when they do this because they sacrifice all that gas in the Mutas, don't have enough Banelings to hold his hyper-aggressive attack. So this is, again, going to be a knife's edge defense that Solar's going to have to mount while also then pushing out the Mutalists.
See what he can make do here as 5 Hellions do make their way towards that third base. And we'll see if they do scout that fourth. Doesn't look like it. Solar just playing along the bottom side of the map. Very interesting. It's actually that base down there at the fourth is, I think, closer to the Terran when you think about it. But it does keep all of his bases in a line. The fourth base definitely, or rather the normal third base location definitely has a couple of different angles to come on in.
This Banshee control from INnoVation, man.
Look at that.
I mean, this is insane.
5
on both, I believe, yeah. He's like, nah, just pushing the envelope, seeing what I can get done. That's all. Once the Mutalists come out, that's going to be into that harassment. But here they come, 7 of them. Baneling speed obviously coming out a little bit delayed.
He didn't see the medevacs. Those Mutas are not in position here. Combat Shields is about to finish for these Marines that are going to drop here.
So much potential damage here. Okay, Marines coming out here, out of range of the Queen. He pulls it back, so the Queen can't push the medevacs back. They are about to hit 1-1 as well. This base is now not mining at all. No Banelings, only Zerglings. He can't fight the Marines cost efficiently without Banelings in this mix. Finally, they come over. They don't have speed. This is going to be a good trade for INnoVation. However, he needs to get out and unload before the Mulos come. At the same time, though, Queens are dying. Solar's failing in his multitasking for just a moment here.
Oh boy. No! Looks like maybe 1 or 2 Mutas there going down. And even just this small force, INnoVation able to out-multitask Solar here in this game so far. And it looks like finally Solar will be able to clean that up. Does still have a decent amount of Mutas. We'll see how many he does commit to. He does have the +1 attack for air on the way. And it seems like he's only making more and more Mutalisks. So definitely seemingly wanting to play a new style here in Game 3.
It definitely feels that way. Snipe on the medevac here. Now the lift is real, escapes with what else he can. But the Mutalist style here has definitely kept INnoVation at bay. He found some damage with his initial push, not a massive amount, but now the Mulas are free to harass without knowing, or without worrying about this massive amount of damage coming over. As I say that, INnoVation is going to commit to another attack here. Banshee's in tow, bringing all of what he has to find this damage. He has a massive lead in terms of army supply currently because of the damage earlier.
Yeah, those 40 Marines are going to be really hard to deal with because Solar only has 7 Banelings, and those are going to be easily targeted down by the 4 tanks that INnoVation has. This is an incredibly strong push. I'm not sure if Solar can really deal with this right now. He needs more Banelings, but he's making just more and more Mutas.
Yeah, he's trying to use the Mulas for the counterattack angle here instead of the aggressive Baneling style to try to smash this push, and that worries me in terms of gas concentration. Plus, keep in mind, okay, he's doing the counterattack move here, but remember, INnoVation, he's about to be in even upgrades for just 1 moment. He's been ahead this entire time. He's going to have +2/2 faster as well. And when he sees these Mutas, he's like, all right, I'm just going to defend with rallied Marines right now. I am going for the attack here. I know that Solar doesn't have that many Banes to defend.
Yeah, Solar is buying himself a lot of time, especially at this location. Maybe that's why he took it, because there's such a long gap between that ramp and the 3rd base, if you guys can see that right now. So it's very hard for the tanks to come down onto the creep and for the Marines to get close enough to that hatchery. Hatchery is getting a little bit low, though, and here we go. Solar looks like he wants to go for either a counterattack or a wraparound right now.
Just wants to try to catch some reinforcements here. So many Marines at home, though. He can't find anything with this. And this is the big concern, is eventually this hatchery will go down as it's taking more and more damage. Yeah, the Banshee even getting some drone kills. So this is a nice position for INnoVation. Looks like he's going to go for that sandwich now, but is this enough? So many of INnoVation's units are actually still at home.
Oh boy, the Marines getting into a really nice position there to defend the tanks. And Solar, it looks like he's running out of steam.
Yeah,
just
all these
way
overlords
too strong on this push is INnoVation.
All these overlords have to back away. He's committed all of his gas to the Mutas, and it's just not enough. GG!
There it is, INnoVation. We talked about the fierceness of his attacks. It started with the Banshee harass, and then an extremely strong push. This time, it seemed like INnoVation was the one to read his opponent and actually say, hey, you're going to go Mutas? Okay, I'll just go mainly Marines. You're not going to have a lot of gas. I did some damage early on, and I can attack that weird kind of 3rd base location that you went to pretty easily.
He went for that follow-up attack. He knew he had the army advantage. He had the upgrade advantage as well, because when you commit this much to that quick of a spire, you don't have the Evo chambers researching the melee upgrades for your Banelings. You don't have Baneling speed early enough, so that was the weak point when he had the 1-1 advantage. Took out so much of the economy, so much of the army, and then in that moment, instead of continuing to build Banelings because he knew he was going to be behind upgrades, Solar took the harassment angle. He wanted to use the Mulas to backstab INnoVation every time he came out. But INnoVation's economy was so good, and he had so many rallied Marines, he just dealt with the Mulas with rallied Marines alone. Not a single missile turret in his bases, and hits this push 2-2 over the 1-1. Such a massive army lead, so many siege tanks. And Solar, you know, when you commit to Mutas, if you can't get to that sweet spot where you have the angle to use them to harass, you're not worried about defending the push, you often die. We've seen it many times with Bjell in the past, who's a more Mutalist heavy Zerg player.
For sure. So INnoVation looking incredibly strong in this series so far. As we jump into map number 4 right now, it's going to be Newkirk Precinct for INnoVation versus Solar, game number 4.
(2027) 시즌 1 결승전.
Here we go, down in the bottom left, the Blue Terran. 2 games in a row, absolutely stomping his Zerg opponent. It is INnoVation.
And his opponent to the bottom right in purple, it is Solar. To try to turn this series around, a loss here would mean that INnoVation takes match point. And it looks like we have an aggressive proxy to start things off on Newkirk. This is the map for it, with the short rush distance by ground. And obviously the 2-player nature of the map means that you know where your opponent spawns every time. And this is more of something we've seen from INnoVation in the Terran versus Terran matchup. Everyone remembers INnoVation and Moru both proxying each other on this map with the Reapers. But it's going to be INnoVation who goes out early. Let's see if Solar scouts this. Remember, this is one of the maps that Solar highly prioritized. It was his 3rd map in the draft. It's his 2nd most drafted map in SSL.
This is INnoVation's family, parents, you know,
so much of his family,
brothers,
relatives, yeah.
cousins, aunts, uncles. I saw them all before, forgot to mention it. Has a huge cheering squad.
Well, no one's holding their breath more than INnoVation and his family now as the proxy goes down. It is going to be the hatch first coming out here. Slightly aggressive droning. It's going to be the pool after gas coming out from Solar. And, you know, again, this is one of the maps he wanted to play most. Top 3 in the draft. Number 2 all season long, and that's partially why INnoVation is going to go ahead and take this style here on this map. He knows Solar has a prepared strategy for, so going into this now, here's the bunker, out of vision.
Ooh.
The hatchery just doesn't see that until it finishes. If he doesn't if he doesn't know and the hatch finishes and the bunker finishes, INnoVation almost wins the game immediately. That's how ahead he is going to get from that position.
It seems like Solar is not expecting this at all.
It's not even Reapers, it's Marines. This is old school.
This is old school. This is like Maru. If you took out the names, you wouldn't expect this from INnoVation. And it really seems, it truly seems like INnoVation is the one innovating tonight. Solar finally is going to see this and see a finished bunker. Not going to be too happy about that. We'll see if he can get this Marine. No, he can't, and the Marine does get into the bunker.
I was actually a little bit worried for INnoVation there because he went so far into the main base with the Marine. And obviously Marines move slower than drones in terms of movement speed. So the drone drill was a good idea from Solar. I think if he actually committed, he would have killed the Marine, but would have lost drones from the Marine, the second Marine coming into the bunker. Now it's 3 in the bunker. The hatchery's under siege. This is going to be a one-base Zerg for a long time. No drones on the map, no way to bust out. The question is, what sort of creativity are we going to see from Solar to break out? This strategy, when the Zerg loses their hatchery and doesn't have a drone on the map, the Zerg very rarely come out of comeback. It always comes down to big follow-up attacks or huge, amazing bailing busts, things like that. It reminds me of the Pro League playoffs that we had where Dark was able to mount a comeback against Alive when he actually lost his hatchery in a similar situation. It was Ravagers was how Dark actually dealt with this situation. We'll see if Solar can actually mount some sort of similar comeback. So far it's just Lings. He may try to go for the run by, but this is a near full bunker wall now.
Looks like that's what he wants to go for, and the only really positive thing I can say about Solar right now is that he plays a ton of online cups. He plays a ton of ladder. He's really high up there. He must face this kind of strategy and this kind of really bad situation a lot. So I would expect him to be very, you know, used to this kind of situation and know how to deal with it. Still, though, INnoVation having a huge lead in this game.
30 Zerglings is not enough to break the bunker. And if he gets the full wall when that creep recedes, that is almost lights out. The creep is receding now. All he has to do is repair a little bit here against the Queens. Needs to be careful with that Queen. He's actually being very aggressive. Will this be Solar's moment to try to break out when the Marines are out of the bunker? Looks like it might be.
Looks like
try and bait those Marines out. Here it is. He's going to try to break through.
There's
only
the
surround.
SCVs
for repair.
Yeah, there's no SCVs, just that one. And he's going to get the full surround here. The Queens are getting to work on these bunkers. That one bunker, though, survives for so long.
And
another bunker.
It, GG.
That's going to be it. Totally stomped in that one. Solar did not see that coming, and INnoVation is rolling away with this finals.
This is how you do it in the grand finals. You mix up the builds. Overgrowth, you think he's going to go for the bio push. He goes for the mech. On this map, you see him so many times play a very similar style to what we saw in Game 1 on Frost. We're talking about it in the series against Solar in regular season. That's how he played it, but now on this map, he's actually taking it totally differently in the grand finals. Instead of going for that fast third CC, early, fast CC first type of build, goes into the 2 racks proxy Marines, not even the Reapers. Such intelligent play we're seeing here from INnoVation in terms of understanding how to play each map and taking the map set Solar really wanted to play on, throwing the tricks on those maps to mess up Solar's mentality here. And, the Ling breakout there, I just don't think it was ever destined to work with that many bunkers. Solar just maybe had a mental block here.
Perhaps. Either way, guys, we are going to jump into a break before we do get into set number